Hi, okay, this is my video 2 for the week of our part 2 reading. Medical Apartheid, the dark history of medical experimentation on Black Americans from colonial times to the present. So for this part, we had to read chapter 8 through 11. So chapter 8 mostly focused on the discovery of birth control, and it talked a lot about Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood, and how all that came about. But what was interesting to me is when African American women would go to the doctor and, say they have problems with their uteruses, or they have like a knot in their stomach and they need to get it checked out, they would be put under, and they would not even have any knowledge that the doctor took their whole entire uterus out of their body. And they were not informed. They didn't know that the doctors did that. And, they didn't find out later until they were like, oh, I want to have a family. Well, you can't. You have no uterus. So that was really messed up. And that stuck with me because that is inhumane, to take out a whole entire reproductive organ in a woman. But yeah, chapter 9 focused on the radiation experimentations on African Americans. So what really caught my eye in this was they thought the whites thought that they could solve the Black race problem by bleaching African American skin white with x-rays and radiation treatments and experiments. But obviously this was, not natural. So a lot of those African Americans suffered side effects like burns, cancers, discoloration, tissue loss, anemia, sores, scarring, and hair loss. And also this chapter focused or talked about Operation Sunshine, which was, I have my notes here that says they gave radioactive cocktails to pregnant women, and they gave radioactive oatmeal to orphanages. They put oatmeal on the menu for orphans that had radiation in it. And that was in support of the Quaker Oats Company as well, which was surprising to me because that's a big company nowadays. And after they died, they were examined and dissected more to measure levels of their radiation and biological effects from the radiation that they were given. And it said they were at least 15,000 bodies were exposed and collected for that one project alone. That was so surprising to me. That is so many people that were innocent and, just were treated horribly. And then the last 2 chapters, talked about the horrible, horrible treatment of Black children, Black boys specifically. I remember in the last chapter, I think it was chapter 11, this one doctor, I think his last name or name was Andy, he removed parts of the brain in this little boy, this 9-year-old little boy. And that stuck with me, and that was interesting to me because, like, who thinks to do that? Like, who? That's inhumane. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I was like, wow, that is inhumane. But on the flip side, on her other book, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, that's a mouthful. In this part, it basically talked about Rebecca Sloot on her journey to find Day, Deborah, Lawrence, and her whole family, just to get more information on Henrietta Lacks' life and, who she was. So that was interesting to me because I want to know who Henrietta Lacks is as well. And I'm sure I will find out more when I'm reading this book. All right, thanks.